What's up, everybody? We should be live. Oh, Truck Series race Pocono. I don't really like this slate, to be honest. There's really not a lot of plays I just like, but we'll go through what everyone needs to do to pay off their salaries. It's pretty much a debate here, starting a lineup between Kyle Busch or John Hunter Nemechek. I'd play one of them, and I wouldn't play them together at all. I would play one or the other in a lineup. I don't really have one that I'm favoring. The race only being 60 laps does kind of cap Kyle Busch's upside, but, I mean, he's going to get fast laps getting up through the field, and once he gets out front, it's just not going to be a race where he can get up to the front in like 5 laps. It'll take him a little bit, but, I mean, if he leads 30 laps, gets 30 fast laps, which, honestly, he should do, then he's going to be fine. But John Hunter Nemechek is just as good in my opinion. The truck is obviously not a driver, but as a play here, I like him a lot. So I have exposure to both today. They both need to lead laps. That's just what it's going to be. I don't have a problem going either of them. In cash, I'd probably go Kyle. I just think he's a little bit safer, but either one in tournaments. I mean, I'm kind of just even on both of them today. I think one of those two dominates and wins. Place a bet on John Hunter Nemechek to win today, not on Kyle Busch because his odds are like minus 148 as you see. So yeah, Sheldon Creed's gonna need to lead laps. I just don't see it. I just really don't see anybody until something really changes. I don't see anybody leading the laps in these races other than the Kyle Busch trucks. Like, honestly, even Chandler Smith I'd prefer over some of these guys to lead laps. Anyway, Todd Gilliland also needs to lead laps. Don't see it. Austin Hill, don't see it. Ryan Preece, don't see it. All of them need to lead laps here to really be optimal. Grant Enfinger, he's going to need a top 8. I don't hate that much. It's a little bit overpriced because he isn't a 9 truck, not in the 98 truck, so equipment's not as good, but we have seen Enfinger get 2 top 10s this year in that truck, so I don't really hate it. If you want to go to Grant, I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. I think that is definitely a worthy play here. Zane Smith, he's also going to need to lead laps. Not really interested. Ben Rhodes needs to lead laps. Not really interested. I'm kind of just banking on laps. Most of the laps, let's say, being from Nemechek and Kyle Busch. If that doesn't happen, well, I'm going to lose money, and I'll live with that. But it's really hard for me to see those guys really getting out front and leading, more than 1 or 2 laps. Like, I mean, I'm sure, I don't think Nemechek's going to lead, like, the first 2 or 3 laps, but I expect him to get up there pretty quickly. I think Todd Gilliland probably leads the first few, but I just don't think that's going to be enough for him to be optimal. Christian Eckes, I'm interested here. He needs a top 7. We saw him run pretty well here in not last year, he did run well here a year ago. But it's just he ran into some bad luck on an accident, but he was leading laps in that race, getting some dominator points. I think he should get a top 10. Top 7 is kind of pushing it. I don't think he's a safe play. I don't think I'd go there in cash. I don't feel like he's safe at all, but he could work. I could see him getting a top 5 for sure. He's a pretty talented driver in that number 98 truck. Bailey Curry needs a top 13 to pay out the salary. That one's a little bit risky in my opinion, but I mean we've seen him run decently this year in that 45 niche truck. It's just, I mean, they price him up, enough where it's not like a lock-in play. I think, especially if you're playing cash lineups, like, you're gonna play Kyle Busch, so you don't necessarily need to get to these, 9, 7, these 3 drivers that are starting in the back: Eckes, Curry, and Gray. Tanner Gray needs a top 9. I mean, that's kind of like where he finishes for the best at. Like, that's kind of like his ceiling, I guess. So that kind of worries me. I don't know. That's just not really somewhere I really want to, like, plant my flag at. It could happen. I wouldn't be that surprised, but that's just not really where I want to go to today. So, shoot. Okay. I think we're good. Oops. Stuart Friesen needs top 4. I mean, it's possible. Same thing with Matt Crafton. They both need top 4s to pay it off. I think it can happen, but it does worry me slightly here. I don't feel like that's a lock play or anything by any means. But, you can go to them. I don't really want to get a ton of exposure to them. This is a race where place differential is going to be such a big factor because it's a very short lap race. So I want to focus on that more. Chandler Smith, he is going to need a top 8. I mean, he should get that. I mean, Chandler Smith's been running really well recently. 8th best average finish, 7th best average position. He's been fast. Kyle Busch Motorsports truck's been fast. I think he's got a win coming soon. I don't think it's going to happen today, but I think a good run for sure should happen for Chandler Smith. So I do like him. I mean, I think he could get top 5 for sure. But top 8, I mean, that should happen as long as there's no issues for Chandler Smith. So I really do like getting to him today. Josh Berry, not going to be too interested here. He needs a top 13. And the truck he's driving just really isn't capable of that unless you have like an elite driver behind it. I mean, Josh Berry's good, but he ain't like that great. So I don't really want to play that truck for that price right there. Johnny Sauter needs a top 9. I think that's definitely possible. Obviously, Sauter hasn't been great recently, but he is still Johnny Sauter in a Thor Sport truck. A top 9 is definitely possible for him. I'd probably prefer going to Majeski and Hocevar, though. Majeski needs a top 10, and I mean that's all he's done this year is getting 2 top 10s in that Thor Sport truck, number 66 truck for them. He's been running pretty well for them this year, so I do like Ty Majeski a good bit. He's just run pretty well in that truck, so I don't hate that at all. Carson Hocevar is going to need a top 10 as well. Another driver who's just been running pretty well as of late. I think he should definitely get a top 10. I think Hocevar is probably my favorite one out of all those guys. I think he has the highest potential to get like a top 5. I think all of them can, but I think Hocevar is most likely one to get a top 5 out of those 3 trucks. So Hocevar is definitely going to be someone that I like a good bit today. Tyler Hill, he's a little bit expensive, needs a top 19. That's not great, but it's definitely possible. And I mean, last year Pocono was just a wreck fest, and I would not be surprised if it is again. This is kind of a tough track, and obviously these drivers are not the best of the best, so this is where Tyler Hill could work out for. Needs a top 19. I have a little bit of exposure to him. I think he's a good tournament play, and I think you can go there and cash too for the place differential. But Derek Kraus, man, I mean, I think he's the easiest play on the slate. He needs a top 17. And, I know Kraus really has not been running all that great this year, but, I mean, he's had some bad luck. I mean, there's just been some interesting factors that have contributed to Derek Kraus not finishing great. A top 17 for Derek Kraus, should happen. All of his numbers say that should happen. So I don't really see a problem with Derek Kraus not paying off his salary unless he has some sort of issue. So definitely want to go to him. Tyler Ankrum as well, I think is too cheap. Starting 18th. I mean, he's in a GMS truck. He's a top 14. Did well here at Pocono a year. He's done well at Pocono overall. These are types of tracks we've seen Ankrum run well. Recently, 16th best average finish, 13th best average position. Ankrum's just been running pretty solid. I think this is a definitely a top 14 truck. I'm not the biggest fan of Ankrum as a driver, but he should be a good DFS play today. Chase Purdy is going to need a top 13 to pay off his salary. I don't want to play that man. I don't want to play Chase Purdy starting 15th, bro. That's just rough. Ryan Truex needs a top 17. And I think that is definitely possible. I definitely think that's a spot where we could see Ryan Truex succeed at. So definitely going to be someone I want to get some exposure to. Jack Wood is actually not as bad of a play as I originally thought. He only needs top 11. And I mean, he hasn't finished great, but the car has speed, and we've seen him have some success. 13th best average finish, 17th best average position in the last 5 races. So I do think Jack Wood could have a good run here, be a very low play that could work in tournaments. I don't hate that. Haley Deegan I like a lot here, top 16. She should run well. I mean, seriously, she's been running a lot better. Just kind of had some bad luck in the finishing position. She's going to get a top 10 here sooner or later. I don't know if that's going to be today, but a top 16 is definitely something I feel like she should do. Also, himself also needs a top 17. These two are just too cheap. So, I mean, that's where I want to go with them. And then, honestly, the rest of these guys, I'm not interested in at all. Wayne Self's the lowest I'm going today. Danny Bone, he needs a top 20. I don't really see that. Howie DiSavino needs top 23. I don't see that. Todd Peck, top 23. I don't see that. Brian Dozit, he needs a top 27. I don't see that. Tate Fogelman, top 20. If you want to go there, you can, but that's still a top 20 from Tate Fogelman's tough to really want to go for. Spencer Boyd, top 25. I don't really want to go there. Ray Cicerelli, top 27. Definitely don't want to go there. Chris Wright, top 25. Top 21, actually. Not seeing that. Josh Ramey needs top 26. I'm not seeing that. Norm Benning, top 27. Don't see that. Lawless Allen, top 23. Don't see that. Jennifer Jo Cobb, top 28. Don't see that. This punt range is awful today. Also, Wayne Self's the lowest I'm going. So, yeah, that's my quick little rundown. So, go ahead, ask some questions. That's kind of what I'm here for, to answer some questions for you guys about this slate. Race starts in an hour, so, get your questions in, make your lineups now. I will be going over to Cup Series race as well after truck race. So, in between it, I don't really know what time it's going to be at. I guess, around 2:30, probably. I don't know. Morning off. I can fit Bush and John Nemechek in cash lineup and go no lower than Boyd on value. Should I feel good? I mean, yeah, I don't hate that. If you want to go, if that for cash works for me. Because I think both of those two should have good runs, and Boyd shouldn't kill you. So I don't hate that for cash at all. Would not go with a lineup like that in tournaments, though, at all. But in cash, that works. questions? Yeah, it's a dead Saturday morning, man. Not a lot of people win today. Oh well. Hate to see it. Happy for the people that are in. Any other questions? Make sure to hit that like button while you're in here as well. If you're new, subscribe. You know, do the things. Same things every single week. Hopefully John Hunter can pull off the win. Perfect race for me today would be John Hunter to lead early, Kyle Busch to lead late, and John Hunter to beat him on the last race restart. And Kyle finished second. That would be the perfect day for me. Any questions? Any other questions? I feel like there are only about 10 to 12 drivers who are starting. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I really don't like a lot of the plays on the slate at all. I mean, I'm pretty sure on this rundown just went not really, maybe, but like, yeah, it's not really a great group of drivers this week. Draftkings did well pricing the salaries, making it hard to play the drivers. So I guess you gotta give credit to them, but it is still tough wanting to get to them. Which honestly means there's gonna be a lot of chalk, which kind of sucks. Like I mean, I feel like my lineups are all chalk, but you know, I don't really like the low owned guys this week. I just don't. I think Majeski could be low owned. That could be a low owned play that works. That's about it, man. Maybe Haley Deegan too. That's really about it. Because people are catching on that like Smith's fast, Hocevar's fast. They're gonna play him. Do you think Creed can get some fast laps or lap sled? Yeah, he could. I don't know, man. He starts 10th, so it's already farther back than John Hunter. I think John Hunter is going to just get to the lead faster than Creed. So, I mean, I don't know. Creed just hasn't shown the speed this year to really get out front. I mean, he would probably be fourth on my list of drivers to lead. Like I think Kyle and John Hunter be 1 and 2. Then I think I put Todd Gilliland, then Creed. So it's possible, but I mean, you're asking for a lot in my opinion. Tournament play. Would you put Ekes and Hocevar together or separate? I don't mind playing those two together. I think I have them together. I'm tired today. I need to eat something. Any other questions? Thoughts on Curry over Enfinger? I don't hate it. I mean, I actually think I like Curry a little bit more because Enfinger is 9,600. I mean, Enfinger is, I guess, the higher ceiling, but I think Curry's a little bit safer. I mean, just because that 9 truck is, I mean, Enfinger's great. Don't get me wrong, Enfinger's a great driver, but that 9 truck isn't a great truck. Like, Curry's truck's better than Enfinger's today. So I think, regardless, Enfinger probably just finishes higher, but, like, Curry DFS points and value wise could easily be better play. So I don't hate that at all. Just a reminder, I will be going live for the Cup race between races. So after the Truck Series race, I'll be back up here doing a live stream for the Cup race. Those has raced there 3 times. Finished 22nd, 24, 26th, only starting last. No, not really. I mean, he's just, the truck's not good. I mean, most of those finishes are from like attrition, from a bunch of wrecks. It's not like he's dirt cheap. He was like, I mean, if he was 4,500, that'd be a different story. But at 5,400, I mean, you need a top. Where'd he go? 27. I mean, and yeah, obviously those 3 are better than that, but he's not a driver. That's a truck that has mechanical issues a lot. That's a truck that gets caught up in wrecks a lot. I mean, I just don't want to go there. If you want to go there, I get it. I understand it, but it's just not. The only way I see him getting there is if like, everybody wrecks out. Like, I think he's going to run worse than Howie DeSavino, Todd Peck, Fogelman, Boyd. Not He'll probably run better than Cicerelli, but Chris Wright. I don't know about Ramey. Norm Benning and Jennifer Joe Cobb should be worse. Like, it's just Brian Dozett's finishes overall, or speed overall compared to just the back markers is just not where I want to see it at. Here, I can pull up the races on Racing Reference real quick. Why not? Trucks. 2020. Oh, not 2019. And the fact we haven't seen Dozet all year, it showed, like, Dozet usually races a few of their races, but this is the first race he's been in all season. Like, that shows me they don't really have the equipment either, or sponsorship or equipment to get to it. There you go. Brian Dozet finished 26th last year. 33rd through 40th wrecked. The guys behind Dozet were Brace Sorelli and Jesse Awuji's trash. Tim Veens is like Brian Dozet worst. Norm Benning, terrible. Jennifer Joe Cobb, terrible. Clay Greenfield, terrible. Like, that race had, the only truck behind Dozet that didn't crash in that race, I would say, is worse, or that's better, is Jesse Awuji. And Jesse Awuji's just an awful driver. That was last year's. I'm going to make sure. Back to history real quick. Anyone going to the back? Nope, no one's going to the back. Haley Deegan failed twice, but you need to fail 3 times to get sent to the back in Truck Series. Did they race once or twice? I think they only raced once. Pocono last year. Brian Dozet, 2019 Pocono race, was the last guy. He finished 2 laps, finished 24th, 2 laps down. Everyone that finished behind him wrecked. Sean Creed, oil leak. TJ Bell, handling problems. Same thing with Barnhill. Same thing with Joe Nemechek. Whoever Daniel Sass's handling issues. Austin Hill clutch. Anthony Alfredo crash. Stuart Friesen crash. So, if that's a big wreck fest, I can see it working, but I really like to. I can see if Dozet being the one who wrecks. So, yeah. You fading Bush are going 100%. No, I have like 60. I'm sorry, I'm 50-50 with Nemechek and Kyle Busch. That's where I'm at right now. Half and half. That's where I want to be today. Like, if one of those two doesn't win this race, I'll be surprised. I don't think either one of them leads the immediate beginning of this race. But, I feel like, 5-8 laps in, Nemechek probably gets to the front here. There is a competition caution too, I believe. I could be wrong about that. Let me go look. I just don't see anyone else just dominating enough for it to work. Hold on. Gotta go look on Twitter. I'm pretty sure. If anyone knows there's competition caution or not, let me know. But I'm pretty sure there is, or usually is. Oh, Bob picked Eric Jones a long shot for the Cup race today. Bro, I know he's really good, but come on. Oh, there is no competition caution. Well, still, 15 lap first stage. Nemechek should get to top 3 at the very least, and I'd expect him to get the lead after that. Or Kyle Busch, either one of them. So, yeah. I just don't think the other trucks have the speed to, hold them off for long enough. And by them, I mean Gilliland. I don't think the guys between Nemechek and Gilliland, second and through 6, I don't think Austin Hill is going to get the lead. I don't think Zane Smith. I don't think Ben Rhodes. I don't think Matt Crafton or Stuart Friesen. I think it's Todd Gilliland or John Nemechek. They've had the speed recently, so that's where I go. And Nemechek, well, okay, I actually don't want to put. Never mind. I was going to say Nemechek won here a few years ago in a truck series, but that was a fuel mileage race, so it doesn't really matter. So don't ignore that. We already over. Oh. Any other questions you guys got for me? I mean, I'll stay here as long as you guys want, but if I don't get any questions, I'm probably going to go eat. Food would be nice right about now. Any other questions? Any other questions? Go ahead, ask me some questions. Alright, well, I'm probably going to head on out. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you guys have a good race day. Make sure to come back later on for the Cup live stream. And have a good rest of your day, and hopefully we're going to win some money today.